Good morning. Welcome to a beautiful morning here in Winnipeg. I was outside a little while ago talking to my neighbor, and when I was out there, I was struck with just how perfect everything was. Just a very, very gentle, warm breeze. Oh yeah, absolutely gorgeous out there. It's the kind of days you dream about way back in December, January, February. Yeah, so why am I sitting inside, right? He was out on his back deck. And Missy was running around. Anyway, I was noticing this morning that we still have renters in the birdhouse, so they haven't broken their lease. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. I'm kind of wondering, are we going to be able to see baby birds coming out and standing on the perch, trying to get up enough nerve to jump off and fly away? Kind of like me trying to get up enough nerve to ride my e-bike. Oh, by the way, thank you to all of you who expressed concern about this old man trying to ride a bike. Yeah, I appreciate your concern. Anyway, we won't talk about the e-bike today. The parts aren't coming until tomorrow. To remove the crank, my crank removal tool. Anyway, and I went online to find out what are the regulations about e-bikes here in Winnipeg. And apparently, you don't have to have a helmet if you're riding a bike, unless it's an e-bike. If it's an e-bike, you have to have a helmet. So I went online last night and ordered a helmet from Amazon. I ordered size large because I have such a big brain. No, it's because I have such a fat head. Anyway, what are we going to do here today? Well, I was thinking this morning that before I put these parts on the top here, I'm going to want to have absolutely everything else done, because they are so fragile, and you just slightly brush against those little parts and those little antenna thingies, and they're going to bend out of shape, and they might be hard to straighten to get them to look right. Right now they look pretty good. So I think what we'll do is we'll put these on, and is there something that is supposed to go right here, I think? Well, not in step 36. There isn't. No, I guess maybe when we swing it around and get to step 37, there's supposed to be something going on there. Or did I miss something maybe in step 35? No, step 35 is the funnel. I'm not seeing anything. So I thought there was it looked like there was no, I thought that there was a little hole there that you would put a peg in, but there's no hole in that. So I guess it's just maybe in the detailing kits there's something that would go in there. But I'm really glad I did not get a detailing kit for this ship, even though it would have enhanced the detail, because I think it would have been just a little bit beyond me. I was watching military modeler Paul working on his Nelson, which is the same as my Rodney, only a little bit different, and he's got a lot of extra work in some instances. For instance, on the 20 millimeter guns, mine only had 2 pieces, and his has, I believe it's 10 pieces for each gun. And not only is there a lot of pieces, but they're a lot more fiddly, and some people are really good at it, and some people aren't. So I might have been able to more or less do it, but I think I would have become frustrated and discouraged. So I think that maybe in this hobby, that's one thing a person has to be careful of. Don't, you might be able to afford, the big 200 scale kit, and then spend twice that much again on aftermarket detailing. You might be able to afford that, but you might get really discouraged because you realize that this isn't this. This is just too. It's just too darn hard. And once the fun's out of it, hey, I think that in likelihood a lot of this modeling stuff has gone into the trash because people have gotten discouraged, which is really too bad. So let's just say don't bite off more than you can chew. If you're thinking about maybe, you're watching me do this, and as I say, sort of bumbling through it. You think, I can bumble through it too, but I'm going to get the detailing kit. It could be a mistake. It's going to look great just the way it is, at least at arm's length. Like as you're seeing the other 3 ships right now, they look really good. You can't tell that they do or don't have the detailing kit on them. Okay, I think I beat that to death, didn't I? Let's recompose here and get our little. There's some kind of a radar unit. It seems to me I did look for these in Stefan's book. I'm going to do it again because I've forgotten exactly what they're supposed to look like. So let's just take out a minute and go to Stefan's book first, and then we'll recompose and stick these on. I do believe that is the last thing to go on. We've got the railings on with the spotlights, and I'm talking way too much. Let's move on. And here we are in Stefan's book. Now, I have a faint recollection of seeing this drawing before. And yes, it's a drawing, not a photograph. So we can only assume that it's going to look very much like this, but we don't know for sure. However, you can notice that there are handles on it, so that means that somebody stood behind it and sort of, aimed it like a gun. Okay. Yeah, the computer age was just starting when these things were designed, so there was a lot more manual stuff going on than there is now. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, let's get ourselves organized here. Now, I can't remember now when I was looking at those drawings a moment ago. Was the radar dish painted a different color? I don't think so. I think the whole thing was sort of, gray. And all right. Now, I don't believe I have tried these before. This is going to be the first time. Now, don't go squeezing it too hard. I'm just trying to get it at just the right angle here. And it's not working out. There are some delicate details on this, even though this entire piece is just molded as one piece here. I'm pretty sure this is going to fit okay. I'm so terrified of, I know I've said this probably 10 times, but I keep dropping these things because I'm so afraid of squeezing them hard and breaking detail. Oh, come on. Okay, and then what happens is I get mad and I squeeze real hard. That's not working either. Well, it's kind of in place there. Yeah, they're going to fit just fine. All right, so let's slip on our macro lens here. Pardon my reach. And move right in and glue these in place. Okay, now it's just a little bit too cramped in here for me to try and pick it up with my fingers, and I'll probably end up breaking off one of our searchlights here. So I'm going to just see if I can't do a better job of holding on to it this time. So hold it like this. I don't think... Oh, you know what? I said that this was all one piece, but it wasn't. We had to glue the dish in separately. So it was 2 pieces. Okay. Oh, and can you believe it? I dropped it. I just can't believe it. Oh, come on, Ron. How can I grab hold of this now? I don't want to break the dish off, but I can't hold it too far down on the base either. Otherwise, if I do, I'm going to not be able to. The tub is going to be in my way. Okay, let's just put a little bit on there. First, we'll do some on here. That might actually be enough. That might actually be enough. Let's not smear it around in the bottom. Let's see if we can get this in place here. And we want it at a slight angle off to the side. Just try and work it down into the hole. Let the extra thin dissolve the paint. And it'll work its way down. Okay, it's not quite straight. Yeah, that's better. Okay, now let's do the other one. Break it off. Now, maybe what I will do is just put a little bit down. I think that's going to be all right. Now, you notice right here on the railing, I must have accidentally bumped something on that, and I've scraped the paint off. Well, that'll be a very easy touch-up. Maybe I should do that now. About a minute or two has passed here now, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking it should lighten up when it dries. Then I look down in my jar and I accidentally used the 77. Well, that's the way it goes. Okay, now I have gotten these mixed up. I think that these are supposed to be slightly different, but to me they look exactly the same. No matter how I look at them. I had thought that possibly one leaned a little bit more to the left. Well, maybe this one matches up better with that one. Let me get it off here. I went and used that really sticky tape right there because I didn't want them to fall off. Now, before we actually glue these down in place here, which is right there, we have to paint these and get them in place. Oh, look, I've bent one of the little thingies already. Well, that should be fairly easy to straighten. Maybe I'll just quickly try and do that before. What I had wanted to do was to see how they were going to fit. Like you can see on the ends, there's the holes where this is supposed to match into. And now I don't want to drop these because they bend so easily that I think dropping it. No, is that the way it's supposed to go? No, it's supposed to go this way. I wonder if I bent these things the wrong way. Because this, I don't think this is supposed to be open, is it? Well, maybe it is supposed to be open. Maybe the open side is up. And in that case, then the way these things curl would be correct, because I do believe they were supposed to go around this way, not up this way. I'm going to have to steady this. Obviously, I don't think it'll make a huge difference at arm's length, but I may as well try and get them right? Okay, I paged back to step 33 here. And these are supposed to go with the open side up. And I'm going to superimpose over top of the pizza cup here, because at this moment it's only the second most important thing in the scene. Yeah, so now I know this goes up. Okay, so here is what's happened. I got my rotating blocks all ready to go. This is the one that does not need straightening. And what I was going to do is mount them on the blue tack here like this, so that they are just slightly suspended above the block. Just enough so that the airbrush isn't going to blow them off. And I was actually working with this one here. This is the one that was bent a little bit, that had to be straightened. And so when I was, I guess, not holding it tight enough in the tweezers, I dropped it. And of course it fell on the floor. And when it fell on the floor, I noticed that it was now slightly worse than it was before. And so I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do? And so I put it down on the model table here like this. And I accidentally squashed it a little bit with my finger. I don't know how I did that. I guess because I wasn't looking at it when I was moving stuff around. That's what it was. And so now I got sort of a mess going on here. And I think I can basically get it back, it's... It kind of reminds me of a spider that got half stepped on, and it's in the process of going to spider heaven. Okay, I'm probably going to have to do this off camera. Another setback, but it's a fun setback, Hey, what's the difference? You got to do something, right? Okay, I'm just going to use my whatever this thing is to hold this down. I'm wondering though, I might be better off. Let's get rid of that hair. Okay, I'm wondering if maybe I should use the holder downward to hold it in place, and that way I can use both hands to sort of steady myself. See, right now if I go to grab on it, I'm going to move it, so I've got to hold it down somehow. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put something on here that'll hold it steady. But I'm wondering, maybe these photo etch pliers are just a little bit too... they're a little bit too heavy duty. I might be better off coming in with something like this. And, oh, come on. And now, mind you, here's an example of where if this had have been held down really hard and I bumped it like this, I would have bent them even worse. I think if I really mash them up, this might be another detail that's not going to be on. No, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. Just let me reset up here. Now maybe I don't need that much. With that much less, I have to try and get out of the teeth later. Okay. Now my thinking is, let me move you in here, that if I'm using the blue tack on the top of that piece of, I was going to originally just put this straight down onto the metal there, and then I realized that it could slip off. Whereas if I go like this, the chances of this slipping off are a lot less. Okay, now I believe I can actually get in there. And I know earlier I said I probably can't video doing this, but now that I think about it, that I can use both hands and sort of steady myself, maybe I can put the macro lens on. And I just have to really watch that when I'm through, straightening something, I don't forget and release the tweezers and spread and then just mash everything over. So I've got to concentrate on what I'm doing here. Okay, I've got my magnification hood on here, but even still, you are seeing this much better than I am. This is the one that the solder broke loose. Okay, that's that one. Now, because I can rest my tweezer on the table here, I'm able to move a little bit less shakily, you might say. Okay. I do believe we're going to get it. It might take a little bit of adjusting afterwards. Oh, don't squeeze too hard. It's not going to be as good as it was originally, but I think it's going to be acceptable. I've lost my perspective here. Was this the one we were working on before? Sort of bend it over here. See, what's happening is the one I'm working on and then the one in behind it is blending together, and now this one I think has to go down just a little, doesn't it? Let go here. Okay, let me check the monitor. Okay, I can see that there's one that's kind of pushed down here. See if I can pull it out a little bit. I wonder if maybe the other end of the holder downer here, if I could hook into it. Okay, now is there another one here? Yeah, this one's got to come up a bit too, I think. Okay, let me check the monitor again. Well, that's a lot better than it was. Okay, now let's try and not... They could actually all go... Maybe this end would work better now. Just move this like this. A little bit more. And this one, oh, I pushed it in. I want to be careful that I don't go back and forth too many times, and then I have metal fatigue going on, and the piece actually breaks right off. Okay, I'm going to quit now. I'm not going to quit now. I'm going to quit now. It's not perfect, but what do we got here? This is... Okay, I'm going to quit. I keep saying I'm going to quit, and then I think, well, maybe just one more. Okay, let's get it down on the blue tack. Okay, I'm back. I just looked up in the monitor here and I realized that I must have accidentally pushed this back. You know, I've got a feeling that metal fatigue is setting in because these are... Why are these not cooperating here? Okay, let's just quit. I think that's the best I can do. I was realizing why it was that I thought there was metal fatigue going on, and that's because there are actually folding lines at each one of those little joints, you might call it. And the folding line is already so incredibly weak. Or maybe I should say bends incredibly easy. Well, and weak too, I guess. Anyway, let's see if we can get these pieces painted and try to keep my big heavy thumbs off of it. Okay, here's what's happened besides a whole bunch of time has passed. Got a call from my son. He wants to come over and have coffee with me. And I think he's probably going to want to try out my e-bike. Now, he has ridden an e-bike before, so he kind of knows what to expect. And maybe it'll be all right because he'll be able to tell me, how it compares with what he's familiar with. I don't need to turn this anymore. I think I've turned it enough. But I'm going to have to call today's episode quits here because he's going to be here in a little over an hour. And but we almost forgot about I almost forgot about the pizza thing going on here. Now you already know what's in there. I showed you last week. Remember I cut this into 6 pieces? Well, I think this is piece number 4 of 6. Anyway, here we go. Oh, look at all that chicken in there. That's gonna be nice. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're gonna see you tomorrow.